All right, thank you for watching the video today. Today we've got the S&B fuel tank. This is the 10-1004. This thing is massive, 60-gallon fuel tank for a short wheelbase F250. Now guys, I called S&B and I asked the question, will this work in the 23? So yes, it does. It shows 20 or 17 to 23, I think, on the website, but this tank, the 10-1004, will fit in the 23 model. And y'all know I've got a 23 ordered, so I want to make sure it's going to work in that, but it's going to be a while before that truck ever shows up. So we're going, and we've got a long trip to make pretty quick, so we're going to go ahead and put this tank in this truck. So let me get the old tank out, start working on that, and we'll be right back. All right, so I got the tank installed and went ahead and plugged Forscan in. You have to make two changes in Forscan. You're going to change it to a 60-gallon tank, but you've also got to go in and change in the IPC, you're going to change the fuel control from PCM to IPC. Okay, so if you look, we've got 902 miles to empty. We got 53 plus the 5 I put in it, so it's 58 gallons right there at it. Now, one of the things I did notice is while it was filling, there's probably about 7 gallons on top of the sending unit saying it's full, right? So it's going to stay on the full for a while before it starts to drop. So for me, right at half a tank, where I used to get maybe, let's just say, on 34 gallons, I would show about 420 till empty, 420 miles on my average driving. And so one of the things that I'm concerned about is I was showing about 580 at half a tank right when it had the 34 gallons roughly in it. And so what I'm going to do to fix that is, I'm not going to say it has a 60-gallon tank in it. I'm going to go back in Forscan. I'm going to make the edit. I'm probably going to drop it down to maybe 55 or 50. And then I'll have a little bit more accurate reading, because your distance to empty would not be correct if you set it at 60, because it can't measure that 5 to 6 gallons on top of it. So that's going to accelerate it on the bottom part. So anyway, I want my distance to empty to be accurate, which I think if I set it at 50, I think that's where it's going to be. I think there's, like I said, 5 to 7 gallons above what the sending unit can read. If you do the math, let's say I get 16 average times 60, you're going to come out to that pretty close to that 902, and that's what it's figuring. But like I said, it's going to stay there, and then it's going to drop faster. So we're going to make that adjustment. I'll show you how to do that, and stay tuned. Okay, so as you can see, I used the OBD Link MX. Now I was going to walk y'all through basically the Forscan operation, if this will focus. There we go. Okay, so once you get your Forscan open, you go down here to connect. And it sees my truck, it remembers it. We're gonna hit yes. And then if you can look right now, see it's showing 879 to empty. Like I said, I'm gonna probably burn about 20 gallons out of it, figure out right where 34 gallons was, and then I should have about 400 miles to empty. And for me, it's about getting it more accurate as it drops. I mean, I'm fine if it stays on full until it starts dropping that level, but then I want it to be accurate on my distance till empty. So then you're gonna click on your modules right here, and you're gonna scroll down to IPC, which is the instrument cluster, basically. And we're gonna go to the module configuration right here. You can see that. And then we're gonna hit play. It's going to open everything up on the module, and then you can go up here to filter, and you can just type fuel, and I will show you what I had to change. So right here, fuel level source, you'll need to switch that to IPC. If it's on PCM, it's not going to change the mileage. And then go up here to your tank level. You can see right here, fuel tank size in gallons. And then we enter a new value. Like I said, right now I'm at 879. So we're going to drop this value. I'm going to go with 55 right now. I think 50 is going to be the right number, but I'm going to see where it lands. And then once you do that, you're going to go down here to write. and it'll show you everything you're writing. Basically, we're writing the old value of 60. Sorry, my phone's, get this light to turn off. Okay, so if you look right there, you can see I hit write, and then you see I'm writing the old value of 60 to 55. And then we're gonna play that, check it. You'll see your cluster reboot. See, and it dropped down from 879 to 818, which really makes me think it's gonna be 50, is gonna be the right number. Yeah, so if I'm looking at 818, and I know 34 gallons basically gave me about 400 miles on average. 60 is going to be a little shy of that, you know, because your 68 would be basically 800. So I'm going to change that down to probably about 50. So we'll go back in here to where it says 55. Like I said, if the DTE is not correct, I can come back and edit it up. So I'm going to go back to 50. And we're going to write that. You can see it's going to go from 818. Let's hit it. It's going to reboot the cluster. About 744. I think that number is going to be pretty accurate as soon as it starts dropping off the full. So that's where I'm going to leave it set for right now. Once you're done with that, basically you just hit OK on that. And then we want to stop this module. So we're going to hit the stop service right there. And then we'll go back up to the little car. And we're going to disconnect right here, bottom corner. And that disconnects it. And so that's where we're going to leave it. And I'll follow up with a video and let y'all know if that's where I'm going to keep it. Okay, so like I said, you can use your factory skid plate. I haven't put this on yet. I'm gonna try to get that done, but very simply, it's just got some, looks like about 1.5 inch spacers that drop it down for the depth of that tank. And then it comes with some new bolts for the skid plate. So you can put your factory skid plate on once you get the tank in. Here's the final install. And it does provide the front skid plate with U-bolts that go around the cross member to help support the tank. So that's pretty nice. And then you add your stock skid plate, which would take over from that point and then go to the back. But that's what the final product looks like. Let me get a little further back so you can see. It doesn't hang down that much. I mean, a little bit more towards the rear. Kind of give y'all a, I know you'd ask, so tape measure here. So about midpoint here, it looks like we're hanging down about 5 inches below the frame. And then, you know, the frame curves up, but it stays pretty steady with that. But overall, it's not that anybody could really tell that you had a tank in there. So again, I'd like to thank you for tuning in the video today on the S&B fuel tank, 60 gallon for the Ford F-250 short bed. If you get a chance, please hit that like and subscribe. This video helped you in any way. Drop any comments, I'll try to answer them. Catch y'all in the next video.